We're following breaking news out of Major League Baseball where Josh Hader has agreed to a 5-year, $95 million deal with the Houston Astros. That's been confirmed by our MLB insider Jim Bowden. The All-Star closer spent the past season and a half with the Padres, tallying a 1.28 ERA in San Diego last season. He joins an Astros bullpen, which already includes Ryan Pressly and Brian Abreu. Let's bring in our MLB insider, Jim Bowden, for more on this. Jim, I'll start with your reaction to this deal. Are you surprised that the Astros went with Hader?
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, this happened yesterday is when the talks really accelerated here, and finally they were able to close the deal done. Houston really wasn't in Hader, and then Hader market didn't really develop. The Astros stayed in touch. And then when Kendall Graveman, it was announced that he was going to have shoulder surgery and was going to miss the entire 2024 season, then Houston got re-engaged with Josh Hader and his agents, and then they were able to get it done because what the agents wanted to do, they wanted to beat Edwin Diaz's 5 years, $102 million deal with the Mets. And although on the surface it doesn't look like they did at 5 years, 95, if you look at the net present value of the deal, because none of this deal has any deferrals in it, the fact is that this makes Josh Hader the highest paid relief pitcher in Major League Baseball history. He also gets $1 million award bonus if he wins the Mariano Rivera award at the end of any year of this contract. So this is a huge deal. It's a record-breaking deal. And for Houston, look, they had to watch the Texas Rangers on the other side of Texas win the World Championship. And I think Jim Crane wants to win one more time with the group he has here. Remember, Bregman and Altuve are getting close to free agency here. So is Framber Valdez. So they think the window closing a little bit. They wanted to go all in because of it. So they land the best left-handed closer in the sport. And Jeremy, how about him and Ryan Pressly in the back end of their game? Pretty foul.
Bullpen looking good. Jim, the Astros are not usually a team that splashes for free agents like this. So does this tell you that they're motivated, a little bit desperate, or a little bit of both?
You know, I don't think desperate, but I do think motivated with the core that they have. You know, I think they see this club as a club capable of winning another world championship. Dusty Baker's no longer leading the club here. They've got a new GM, a new manager, and they want to go back and try to get that parade. They want to try to go back to the White House one more time. Look, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to extend Alex Bregman or Jose Altuve or Framber Valdez, and certainly not even Kyle Tucker. So your window's right now, and I think that Jim Crane, the owner, and GM Dana Brown looked at it and said, how can we push this team over the top? How can we separate ourselves from the Texas Rangers? And the answer, I think, became very clear today. If they can have the best back end, shorten the game, make it a 6 or 7 inning game, let Hader and Pressly finish it, that gives them a best shot of not only winning the division, but a legitimate shot in the postseason of running the table.
Jim, how do you see Hader and Pressly kind of meshing in the back end of this bullpen?
Yeah, look, I mean, look, pitchers have egos. We all get it. Hader's now been paid, so he doesn't have to worry about his role. Ryan Pressly is a free agent after this year. Although there's a mutual option for next year, that's an option that he's going to probably pull out of. So they're only going to have Pressly one more year. So for 1 year, they're going to be together. I think at the end of the day, Hader, of course, the better closer of the two. But Pressly has had a really good run there in Houston. I think initially in the first year, there's enough saves for both. I think that they'll mix and match late in the game, depending on the hitters that are up. But when push comes to shove, and by the time we get to October, I think you'll find that Hader will be pitching the 9th and Pressly will be pitching the 8th.
Well, and I mean, if you can rest the arm just a little bit, just maybe take a few pitches off, it certainly helps in terms of that if you want to have that longer season going into the postseason. So, Jim, when you look at this Astros team now, they've got Hader in there. They've got the bullpen, you know, for the most part sorted out. What other areas do they still need to address for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think you ever get enough pitching depth here. I think they could use one more utility guy off the bench, but I think they're pretty well set. I'm not expecting them, based on my conversations with their GM, Dana Brown, I'm not expecting them to make another big move after this. I think what's going to be more interesting is the domino effect that it has with the Texas Rangers, because the Rangers have been working very hard this offseason to bring back Jordan Montgomery. They haven't been able to sign him at this point, but they're staying engaged. Perhaps the signing of Hader to Houston will now push the Rangers to maybe make a little bit more of an effort and try to get Montgomery done.
Yeah, it certainly adds some motivation to some of the other teams that they'll be competing with for a World Series title. Our MLB insider Jim Bowden talking about Josh Hader signing with the Houston Astros. Thanks, Jim. Always good to see you as we take a look at some of the top free agents that are out there. According to CBS Sports, here's your top 10. And you see Hader on that list, but you can now scratch him off because he signed a 5-year, $95 million deal with the Astros. Of course, they've got a new manager coming in, Joe Espada, as they will look to add another World Series title, as Jim explained. Maybe the feeling is that window is starting to close. 7 straight ALCS appearances, looking to take that one further this coming season.